Hello again, Amelin. You're right, Pag-asa says the diffused tail end of a cold front affects the Bicol region and eastern Visayas today, while the northeast monsoon will still bring rains over northern Luzon. And just like here in Manila, Tagaytay, Lawag, and Tuguegarao will all have partly cloudy skies with brief rains today. The dancers participating in the Pamaypay ng Caloocan Festival are actually lucky because it already rained this morning, so we're expecting the weather to improve later on in the day. Puerto Princesa, meanwhile, and Legazpi will experience some thunderstorms with light rains, and Calapan will have some occasional drizzles. Moving on in Visayas, Cebu, Iloilo, Tagbilaran, Dumaguete, and Tacloban will have partly cloudy to at times cloudy skies with isolated rain showers and thunderstorms. So people involved in the Festival of Hearts in Tanjay City, Negros Oriental have to be prepared with their umbrellas as they have their nightly haranas and their baile ng bayan until the 14th. Borongan, on the other hand, will still have to muster some rains. And down south, Davao, Zamboanga, Cagayan de Oro, General Santos, and Butuan will have partly cloudy to at times cloudy skies with isolated rain showers and thunderstorms. Cotabato will experience some occasional drizzles. And that's the latest on the weather this morning. Back to you, Amelin and Jing.
Thank you, Pat. Meanwhile, Justice Secretary Laila de Lima says Aman Futures Group founder Manuel Amalilio must remain in a Malaysian jail for more than a year before he can return to the Philippines. Anjo Alimario tells us more.
Aman Futures owner Manuel Amalilio's return to the country will have to wait a while. Justice Secretary Laila de Lima says Amalilio needs to serve about 15 months or 1 year and 3 months in jail first in Malaysia before he can be extradited to the Philippines. She notes this period is still subject to negotiation and appeal in order to make Amalilio's stay in Malaysia shorter.
One thing is sure, or one thing is clear, there will be no immediate extradition. Or if we're thinking that we expect Mr. Amalilio to be extradited here in the next few days or in the next few weeks, that's next to impossible. Ang tinatrabaho natin is yung makuha siya even before the full service of the 2-year jail term. Kasi that's possible daw. He has to serve a fraction or a certain portion of the 2-year jail term.
Malaysian Attorney General Tan Sri Gani Patail assures the Philippine government Amalilio will stay in jail while serving his sentence. DOJ Undersecretary Jose Vicente Salazar, assisted by Philippine Ambassador to Malaysia Ed Malaya, met with Patail last week to discuss Amalilio's case. De Lima says the country can avail of the extradition process even in the absence of an extradition treaty as provided for under Malaysian laws.
What is important is that the Malaysian government, through our counterpart, the Attorney General, assured us of their commitment to help us out in extraditing. Sila na nga yung nagsuggest na ipadala yung team na yan para they can already start working on the requisite legal documents.
De Lima also highlights the freezing of Amalilio's assets in Malaysia as one of the results in a discussion. De Lima adds this is a significant move towards the ultimate goal, which is recovering the money of the duped investors.
Now, very important kasi later, of course, the target is how to recover so that yung mga nabiktima kahit papano ay meron pa ring matanggap.
De Lima reiterates Amalilio's nationality will be a non-issue, although she stands pat in her earlier statement that Amalilio is a Filipino citizen. On the reported Amalilio's ties with high-ranking Malaysian officials, De Lima considers this as a peripheral issue. She adds the department won't dig deeper into this, as this might only complicate matters. A team of DOJ prosecutors and special counsels is already being formed to be sent to Malaysia and oversee Amalilio's extradition process. Anjoli Mario, Solar News.
And let's again get the traffic situation in the metro from Katrina Domingo. She's along Edsa Magallanes. Hi, Kat.
Hi, Jing. We're still here at Pilcoa in Quezon City. And as you can see, Commonwealth northbound is still fast-moving and very manageable at this hour. Expect this kind of flow all the way at Del Batasan Complex with minimal delays only by Tandang Sora and Zuswaregi. However, at Commonwealth southbound, you've got a long line already forming, starting at Diliman Preparatory School down to Central Avenue, but it gets better at Magsaysay Avenue, University Avenue, and here in Philcoa southbound. Meantime, over at EDSA, congestion already started at Timog southbound, and this goes all the way down to Buendia in Makati. Over at EDSA northbound rather, FB Harrison, Taft Avenue, Pasay Road, and Reliance are not looking good. Jing, as you can see over here at Philcoa, the rain has stopped and the sun is already shining, but roads are still slippery, so motorists would still have to be extra careful this morning. This morning, you've got at least 4 road accidents all over Metro Manila. Over at CP Garcia, 2 trucks collided at around 6 in the morning, and they are occupying the southbound lane of CP Garcia. So vehicles heading south are now counterflowing over at CP Garcia. So expect very slow vehicle movement in that area. Meantime, at EDSA, we also had a car collisions down at Aurora Boulevard southbound as well as Main Avenue southbound, and in Reliance northbound, 2 vehicles also collided near the Shaw Tunnel. Jing, as you can see, aside from frequent reminders that our motorists should take it easy on stepping on those gas pedals and brakes, we also have other tips for our viewers. So here's our car tip for the day. Good wiper blades will be a real benefit during summer rainstorms and thunderstorms, just like the unexpected downpour this morning. So maintain your wipers by flicking them on once in a while to avoid corrosion. Also check if the wiper's rubber is still thick and in good condition, as worn out wiper rubbers will definitely leave scratches on your windshields. And remember, it doesn't hurt to always be extra careful when you're on the road. Jing, Amelin.
Thanks, Cap. That was Katrina Domingo from Commonwealth Avenue.
Let's go back to Pia Bonala. She's in Santa Maria de la Estrada along Katipunan Avenue. Pia will get the people's reactions on Pope Benedict XVI's resignation. Pia?
Amelin, after 8 years of serving as head of the church, Pope Benedict XVI announced his resignation to be effective February 28. I am here in front of Santa Maria de la Estrada Church in Katipunan to ask churchgoers their opinion about this. With me is Ms. Melodia Iturralde to tell us her opinion on this matter. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
May I know how you felt when you heard the news that Pope Benedict XVI is resigning as Pope?
Surprised and saddened. Very surprised.
But what do you think about this move of his?
Well, let me start by saying that I have the greatest admiration, the greatest respect for our Holy Father. I believe that he will not do anything that he has not mulled over for a good while. I'm sure he has studied it, and he's a very learned man. So I'm